Hey there, and welcome back to the Easy English Podcast. I'm James.
And I'm Anna. We're so glad you've joined us today. Whether you're tuning in during your commute, while you're cooking, or just relaxing, you're in the right place to learn real, everyday English.
That's right. Our goal is to make learning English feel natural and, dare we say it, even fun. We focus on the language you'll actually hear in conversations, not just in textbooks.
And today, we're diving into a topic that's, well, emotional.
Very clever, Anna. Yes, today we're talking all about feelings and emotions. But we're moving beyond the basic happy, sad, and angry.
Exactly. We're going to equip you with some fantastic, colorful idioms and expressions that native speakers use all the time to describe how they're feeling. This will help you sound much more natural and expressive.
So, here's our plan for this episode. First, you'll hear a short, natural conversation between two friends, Liam and Sophia.
Listen closely to their chat. See if you can pick out any interesting phrases they use to describe their feelings. Don't worry if you don't catch everything, we'll break it all down right after.
Then, we'll go through each expression one by one. We'll explain what they mean, how to use them, and we'll even share some personal stories to help the phrases stick.
So, grab your notebook, or just sit back and listen. Let's jump into the world of English emotions.
Hey, Sophia. How's it going? You look a little worn out.
Oh, Liam. What a week. I am absolutely burned out. We're launching the new project at work, and I've been putting out fires all day, every day. I'm running on fumes.
Oh no, that sounds intense. You need to be careful, that's a surefire way to get run down. You should take a break this weekend.
I know. But honestly, last weekend was no picnic either. My car broke down, and the mechanic's estimate made my blood run cold. It was so expensive.
Yikes, that's the worst. I hate those unexpected bills. But hey, look on the bright side. Remember last month when you got that big promotion? You were on cloud 9 for days.
True, that was amazing. I was over the moon. I guess life is just a roller coaster sometimes, isn't it? Full of ups and downs.
Tell me about it. Just yesterday, my boss was on the warpath about a missed deadline. The whole office was walking on eggshells. I was so relieved when the clock hit 5.
I can imagine. Well, I hope things calm down for you. And for me. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for a quiet, peaceful weekend.
Me too. Fingers crossed for both of us.
Okay. So, that was Liam and Sophia. Quite a week, right? You could really feel their stress and their little moments of hope.
Definitely. And their conversation was packed with great, expressive idioms. Now, let's unpack them together, one by one. Anna, let's start with that very first one Sophia used. She said she was burned out.
Yes, to be burned out. This is a super common and useful phrase. It doesn't mean she was literally on fire. It means she was completely exhausted, mentally and physically, usually from long-term stress or overwork.
It's more than just being tired. It's that feeling of being completely drained, with no energy or motivation left. For example, after working 60-hour weeks for a month, I felt totally burned out.
That's a perfect example. I felt burned out after planning my wedding while also studying for my final exams. It was just too much.
Oof, I can imagine. So, listeners, you can say, I'm burned out from my job, or she looks burned out. It's a strong way to say you're completely spent.
And it often implies you need a real break, not just a good night's sleep. Okay, James, what's next?
Well, right after that, Liam gave her some friendly advice. He said she should be careful not to get run down.
Yes, to get run down. This is similar to burned out, but it often refers to the physical state that leads to getting sick. When you're run down, you're so tired and weak that your immune system is low, and you're likely to catch a cold or something.
Exactly. It's like your body's batteries are completely empty. You might say, I've been working so hard, I'm worried I'm getting run down. Or, she was run down after the trip, and then she caught the flu.
I always know I'm run down when I start craving soup and naps constantly. It's my body's way of telling me to slow down.
That's a great sign. So, if you're feeling unusually tired and think you might be getting sick, you can use this phrase. I think I'm a bit run down. Alright, let's move on to a much more dramatic one. Sophia said the mechanic's bill made her blood run cold. That's such a powerful image, Anna.
Oh, I love this one. To make your blood run cold. This means something shocked or scared you so deeply that you feel a sudden, cold fear. It's that moment of pure dread or terror.
It's often used when you receive terrible news or witness something frightening. For example, hearing the fire alarm in the middle of the night made my blood run cold.
Exactly. For me, it was when I got a phone call that my mom had had a small accident. Just those first few words, "Don't worry, but," made my blood run cold until I knew she was okay.
That's a perfect, real-life example. It's that visceral, physical reaction to fear. So, listeners, you can use it like this. The sound of breaking glass in the middle of the night made my blood run cold. It's a very strong expression for a sudden, deep fear.
But let's switch from fear to joy. Liam then reminded Sophia of a happy time when she was on cloud 9 after her promotion.
Yes! To be on cloud 9 or, as Sophia also said, over the moon. These both mean to be extremely happy and excited. It's that feeling of pure elation, like you're floating with joy.
They're pretty much interchangeable. When I found out I got the job hosting this podcast with you, James, I was over the moon.
Likewise. And when my favorite football team won the championship, I was on cloud 9 for a week. You can use them for any big or small joy. She was on cloud 9 after her first date with him. Or, he was over the moon with his birthday present.
It's a fantastic way to say you're not just happy, but really, really happy. So, we've gone from being scared to being joyful. But then, Liam brought us back to a stressful place at work.
He did. He said his boss was on the warpath. This is a great idiom. If someone is on the warpath, it means they are very angry and looking for a fight or for someone to blame. They're in a destructive mood.
You usually use it for someone in authority, like a boss or a teacher, who is clearly very upset and everyone needs to be careful. The image is of a warrior heading into battle.
For example, stay out of the manager's office, he's on the warpath about the missing report. It creates a sense of danger and tension, just like Liam described.
And that leads perfectly into the next phrase he used. He said everyone was walking on eggshells.
To walk on eggshells, or sometimes eggs, is a brilliant idiom. It means to be extremely cautious about what you say or do because you're afraid of upsetting someone or causing a problem.
You feel like if you make one wrong move, everything will break, just like walking on real eggshells. It's that tense atmosphere Liam was talking about in the office.
I've definitely felt that. When my parents were arguing about planning a family trip, my sister and I were walking on eggshells around them for days, afraid to say the wrong thing.
It's an uncomfortable feeling. You can use it in any situation where you have to be overly careful with your words and actions. Ever since their argument, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around my roommate. That's a great point, James. It really paints a picture of that careful, tense feeling. Now, we have just one more idiom from their conversation to unpack, and it's a much more hopeful one.
Yes, and it's one of my favorites. Both Liam and Sophia ended by saying they were keeping their fingers crossed. It's a gesture and an idiom.
It is. To keep your fingers crossed means to hope strongly for a positive outcome. You're literally wishing for good luck. We often do the physical action, crossing our fingers, when we say it.
You can use it for anything from small hopes to big dreams. For example, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't rain for the picnic tomorrow. Or, she's keeping her fingers crossed that she gets into her first choice university.
I use this all the time. Before we release a new podcast episode, I'm always keeping my fingers crossed that you all will like it. It's a simple, warm way to express hope.
Absolutely. So now, we've been through all the key expressions from Liam and Sophia's chat. But you know what? I think we should bring these to life even more. Let's talk about how they all fit together in a story.
I love that idea. It's one thing to know the definitions, but it's another to see how they flow in real life. Let's try to weave them into a single, short story. I'll start.
Okay, take it away.
Right. So, last month, I was completely burned out from work. I knew I was run down, but I kept pushing. Then, I got a phone call that made my blood run cold. My best friend was in the hospital.
Oh, Anna, that's serious. But then, let's continue the story with some hope. Luckily, she was okay, and when she was released, I was over the moon. I took a few days off to help her, and we had such a great time together.
Perfect. But when I got back to the office, my boss was on the warpath about a missed deadline. For a whole week, everyone was walking on eggshells.
So now, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for a calm, peaceful month ahead. Wow, that story had everything. It really shows how we use these different expressions to chart our emotional journey.
It does. And that's exactly how native speakers use them, not in isolation, but as part of telling their stories.
So, let's do a quick recap, everyone. We've covered some incredibly useful language today. You can now talk about being exhausted in a more vivid way.
With burned out and run down. You can describe fear with the powerful "made my blood run cold."
You can express extreme happiness by saying you're on cloud 9 or over the moon.
And you can paint a picture of a tense environment by saying someone is on the warpath and people are walking on eggshells.
Finally, you can share your hopes by saying you're keeping your fingers crossed. That's a whole new emotional vocabulary you've just added to your English toolkit.
We really hope you feel more confident using these expressions. The best way to remember them is to try using them yourself. Maybe you can write a short sentence in the comments using your favorite idiom from today.
That's a fantastic idea, Anna. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us about a time you felt burned out, or something that recently made your blood run cold, or what you're currently keeping your fingers crossed for.
Engaging with the language is how it becomes your own. So, please, share your stories with our wonderful community of learners on the Easy English podcast.
And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button so you don't miss our next episode. We have so many more real-life English topics coming your way.
In our next chat, we'll be tackling a really practical subject, the language of cooking and recipes. We'll learn all those verbs like whisk, chop, and simmer that you hear on cooking shows.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So, from both of us here at the Easy English Podcast,
Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, we're so proud of you for every step you take on this journey.
thanks for listening. Until next time, take care.
Bye for now.